Confirms to Fox 8 News a 16-year-old wanted for threatening a woman with a gun in New Orleans East escaped the Office of Juvenile Justice in March.
The source says he was serving 5 years for multiple auto burglaries. Chris Joseph has more on the timeline of the suspect's escape.
That's absolutely right. Our source says Jefferson was originally sentenced into the Office of Juvenile Justice this past February. He was ultimately convicted in Jefferson Parish and immediately sent to a halfway house. The source says a judge issued an arrest warrant after he escaped 9 months ago, but obviously there's been no arrest. NOPD is now seeking him for threatening a woman in New Orleans East with a gun several times. The OJJ was not immediately able to confirm this information or provide any additional details. It has not confirmed any details on his escape, of course, where he was held, or any alleged crimes. Again, it's unclear exactly where he was being held, what halfway house, but halfway houses are described as low security facilities. State Senator Patrick Connick told us today, before this news broke, there needs to be more communication from the OJJ.
I can care less about the privacy of a juvenile who has caused havoc and has caused harm to folks. We have a right to know who he is, who she is, what they did, where are they, because we need to be protected.
Now, Connick is working on a bill to require the OJJ to report escapes from all facilities to the press in an effort to obviously get that information out. The OJJ didn't announce his escape. The New Orleans Police Department did in a press release. Again, we have reached out to the OJJ for more information on what happened.